Cursed. A story by Fluff Dragon. Part 5. Agnes, the innkeeper, smiled at Adrian as she set a bowl of hot porridge in front of her. Adrian smiled back under her hood, grateful for her friend's kindness in spite of everything she'd put the town through.
I'm sorry again about Eustace, Aggie.
Agnes shrugged.
He was only my backup pig, child. I'm used to it anyhow. Claudius ate my cousin's entire flock of sheep in one night when he first transfigured. Luckily, every time a new sledge comes, we get a whole heap of new visitors, and I'm able to support him through the winter.
Adrian glanced at Markus while Agnes talked and smiled, trying to hide her expression under her hood as she was still not quite able to meet his eyes without blushing. Agnes still caught the exchange, however, and humphed in satisfaction.
You better keep satisfying you, sweetheart. Dragon or no, you're still a whole woman.
Adrian almost choked on her porridge, spilling some on her robe while Markus smirked from the other side of the table. Her husband glanced at Agnes as she walked away to tend to her other guests and leaned in.
We have an entire week to ourselves, on our way back too. Ivana's going to be so relieved to see you, and we can...
I can't.
Adrian stared at her food, which now failed to rouse any kind of appetite. Markus scoffed.
Well, I beg to differ. Or was I only dreaming last night?
She felt her ears burn and hoped no one had caught that remark.
I mean, I can't go home.
He reached to lift her hood, but she stopped him. He sighed.
You want to stay here?
Well, not exactly.
Then don't. You always have a choice, Adrian.
But my choices affect everyone, Markus. It isn't just me or us I have to worry about, it's the entire kingdom. I transform at random, and when I do, it isn't me. If I can't keep a rein on myself, I can't keep a rein on the people.
His expression softened.
Your mother said that. I remember. So, how long is it going to take for you to train yourself? Only transform when you want and all that.
He raised a brow.
I don't look like a better breakfast than that porridge, do I?
Adrian rolled her eyes.
Of course not.
Well, you haven't killed me in either form. I'd say that was a good amount of self-control right there.
But look at everything I did kill, Markus. Agnes's pig, the guards, who knows what or who else on my flight here. Claudius certainly wouldn't tell me.
She swallowed, trying to blink away tears. Markus moved to sit next to her, bringing her close and laying her head on his chest.
Look, I know you're scared. To be honest. So am I. I've never dreamed anything like this would ever happen. And supposedly I know dragons a lot better than most. Does everyone know about your...
Just Agnes. She's kind of our gatekeeper. Why do you think I'm wearing this thing in this weather?
Well, that does make me feel a little better. The point is, I might not know everything, but I know you. I know you really wanted sugar on your porridge, but knew it was scarce here. That Agnes would give it to you rather than charge you for it. And you didn't want to be a burden, so you didn't ask. I know you want to heal the rift between classes, and that you can't do, sitting here in the outskirts of the kingdom with Ivana de Havard's watch.
Adrian felt her stomach churn.
Havard's there.
Well, of course he's there. He smells opportunity 2 miles away. What happened that night, anyways?
He, ignited me.
Her husband's face darkened, and he looked a little ill.
Please tell me that's not...
No, there's a fire chamber that lays dormant in dragons until the...
A message from Master Markus Giles.
Agnes directed the courier to their table, and he laid a note before them. Adrian blinked as he ran off, uncertain she was reading the lettering right.
Is that...
a wedding invitation. Looks like Havard intends to join the family.
Adrian felt her skin crawl.
Doesn't she know?
I doubt it. We weren't able to get any evidence of his assault. So to her, I'm just this grieving husband looking for someone to blame. He must have asked her not too long after I left, judging by the time it takes news to get this far.
The still new warmth in her chest burned, and Adrian caught herself growling. Markus took her hand, and she took a breath.
It looks like they don't want you there either. Look at the date.
Tomorrow? Well, he certainly moves fast. I wonder how you convinced her.
We have to warn her.
Markus nodded.
Of course, but how? To ride that fast would kill several horses.
Adrian pursed her lips. Her husband's eyes widened.
You're actually considering it. How much of a threat is this man?
He's threatened my family. My people would be miserable under his elitist thumb. Nothing has ever been this urgent.
You have wings. Why not fly there?
Adrian snorted.
I can't just...
Well, why not? No one would ever have to know it was you. Swoop in, bite his smuggler to face off, and fly away. After you return, everyone will think it was a sign from the gods that you were meant to rule. The council would have to back off, and you could move forward in making the kingdom a better place for everyone.
She laughed, though her throat constricted with the dangerous levels of worry that rose within her. Markus squeezed her shoulders.
I'm serious. You can make a whole new council with both peasant and noble members. What better way to bring classes together than to let both of them have a say in how the kingdom is ruled?
I still can't control myself.
Not if you keep telling yourself that. Why don't you try? Come on, we're going to the clearing right now to figure this out.
Adrian followed, trying to focus on her breathing. The memory of the pain from every transformation thus far swept across her mind, though a voice emanating from the burning in her chest purred at the prospect of release. She couldn't let that part of her take over again. Who or what would she kill this time? What if she couldn't transform and her sister was stuck with a miserable marriage for the rest of her life? What if she did transform, and her dragon half killed her husband? She stopped, frozen in place.
I can't.
Yes, you.
I can't!
Markus blinked. In all their years of courtship, in their entire marriage, she had never raised her voice to him. She'd never raised her voice ever, in fact, that she could remember. Tears now flowing, Adrian leaned against one of the trees and took in a deep breath, removing a glove and running her hand over the rough bark, smelling the charred grass up ahead, taking in every detail of the leaves on the ground, savoring the fading bitterness of the porridge, listening to the birds chirping above them. Markus kept his distance, watching her with a wary eye.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't think it was such an ordeal for you.
Adrian nodded, reaching out for his hand. He took it, bringing her back into the present.
We still need to get your sister.
She nodded again.
We'll ask Claudius. He can help.
Markus narrowed his eyes in thought, and she remembered everything she'd been unable to explain in the short time they'd been reunited.
We'll still have a lot of time on our hands while we walk, so if you have any questions...
I've been meaning to ask. Is Claudius your instructor, or what? Do dragons pop out of nowhere, or...
Adrian bit her lip, looking to the side before meeting her husband's eyes from under her hood.
Actually, the rumors about queens looking outside of marriage to provide heirs is more true than most want to admit. Claudius is your real father-in-law.
Markus groaned.
Oh, great. I don't know which is worse. The father-in-law who could have me beheaded, or the one that can fry me to ashes.
Adrian smirked.
There's more.
More?
She brought her husband in close, kissing his ear before whispering in it. He shuddered, then stilled, pulling her away to look into her eyes, his expression almost pleading.
Are you certain?
She nodded. He beamed, pulling her close and leading her back to the inn.
Then your sister is going to have to wait a while longer.